A boy once asked a Zen master, "What is the story of my life?" The master smiled, poured tea into a cracked cup, and said, "Watch closely." The boy stared as the tea overflowed. "Like this cup," the master said, "your life overflows with things you think you know." Confused, the boy bowed. "Then how do I find the real story?" he asked. The master pointed toward the mountains. "Walk until you hear silence speak." He walked for days. Forests whispered, rivers hummed, and the wind seemed to tell stories he couldn't understand. Each sound pulled him deeper into his own thoughts. When he grew tired, he sat beneath a tree. He listened to his breath, in and out, in and out. For the first time, he realized he had never truly heard it before. Memories began to rise. His first laughter, his first pain, his first loss. They swirled like clouds. "Is this my story?" he whispered. The forest said nothing, yet he understood. Days turned into weeks. He reached a river, so still it reflected the sky perfectly. When he looked into it, he didn't see his face. He saw moments, fleeting, fragile, flowing. He realized that every joy, every sorrow was just a ripple. When he stopped clinging, the water calmed, and in that stillness, he saw. Nothing was missing. A traveler passing by asked, "What are you looking for, young one?" The boy replied, "I was searching for my story, but it seems I am not the story. I am the watcher." He continued his journey and met people along the way. A farmer, a beggar, a mother, a soldier. Each shared a story that mirrored his own heart. He realized every person he met was another page in his story, each reflection teaching him a truth he had forgotten. One night, beneath a sky full of stars, he whispered, "Who am I if not the story I tell myself?" The wind brushed his cheek like a gentle answer. The next morning, he returned to the monastery. The master was sweeping the courtyard. "Did you find the silence?" asked the master. The boy bowed deeply. "Yes, and it spoke softly. It said I was never lost." The master smiled. "Then the story of your life is not what you live. It is what you awaken to." From that day on, the boy did not chase his future or cling to his past. He simply lived, aware of each breath, each sound, each moment, as if all of life were bowing back. He learned to see beauty in imperfection, to love without reason, to walk without destination. And in doing so, the story began to write itself. Years passed, and the boy became a teacher. A new student once asked, "Master, what is the meaning of life?" He replied, "It is not a question to be answered. It is a moment to be lived." As he grew old, he looked back not with pride or regret, but with gratitude for the laughter, the tears, the silence, and the music between them. One evening, as the last rays of sunlight faded, he whispered to the wind, "I am ready." The trees bowed, and the sky turned to gold. When he closed his eyes for the final time, there was no fear, no attachment, only peace. The river flowed, the wind sang, and the world continued its story. And somewhere, in the silence between heartbeats, his spirit smiled, for he had discovered that the story of life was never about becoming someone. It was about remembering who he truly was.